A Draught of Sunshine by John Keats. Hence Burgundy, claret and port, away with all hock and Madeira, to earthly ye are for my sport, where's the beverage brighter and clearer, instead of prayerful aroma, a Rhine or brims the whole summer, where boundless the sky and drink at my eye, till I feel in the brain a dolphin pain, when follow my case, when follow, and the green of the hill, we will drink our fill of golden sunshine, till our brains intertwine with the glory and grace of Apollo, god of the meridian and of the east and west. To we my soul is flown, and my body is ever pressed. It is an awful mission, a terrible division, and leaves the gulp oyster to be filled with only fear. I when the soul is fleet, to high above our head, affrighted do we gaze after its early maze, as though the mother wild, when a young infant child is in an eagle's claws. And is not this the cause of madness, god of song, or bears me along, forth since I scared can bear? Or let me share with hot Ireland thee, the state philosophy, temper my lonely hours, and let me see the bowers more unlarmed. A Galloway Song by John Keats. Ah, can you order meet the day out o'er the mountains, and coming dawn by craze grey on Messines fountains? Ah, good Hair Mary, you pray, and minutes guessing what I met upon the way is past expressing. As I stood where a rocky brick adjoined crosses, I spied upon a mistrick, a troop of horses, and as I trotted down the glen, I sped to meet them, to see if I might known the man, to stop and greet them. First Willie on the sleek mare came, at cantling gallop, his long hair rusted like a flame, on board a shallop. When came his brother Rap and Wren, young Peggy's mother, and Peggy too, a dome the gleam. We went to give her. I saw a rabbit in a hood, for rent and raining. A chick was flush with timid blood, twixt wrath and warning. She turned her dazed head full of, for where her brightness came riding with a bridegroom soft, and moony eyes. Young Tame come up and eyed me quick, with redder-winged chick. Brought him was David like a chick. He could not speak. Ah, Mary, where are we gonna hang? Through blasting river, and every heart is full on flame. Ah, Mary, we are all gone home for a happy wedding. Whilst I are, is it not a shame? The tears am shedding. A Song About Myself by John Keats. There was a naughty boy was he. He would not stop at home, he could not quite be. He took in his knapsack a book, full of fowls and shirt with some towels, a slight cap for nightcap, a hairbrush, completo, with stockings for old ounce, would spit o. This knapsack tied its bag, he arrived close, and followed his nose to the north, and followed his nose to the north. There was a naughty boy, and a naughty boy was he. For nothing would he do but scribble poetry. He took an inkstand in his hand, and a pen, big as 10, in the other, and away in a powder he ran to the mountain, and fountains, and ghosts, and posters, and witches, and ditches, and rode in his coat, and the river was cool, sea of gold, and without, when the weather was warm, ouch, with charm, when he chose to follow one's nose to the north, to follow one's nose to the north. There was a naughty boy, and a naughty boy was he. He kept little fishes in washing tubes where, in spite of a might of a mate, nor afraid of a granny good, he often would, hurly-burly, get up early, and go, by hook or crook, to the brook, and bring home miller's fun, velvet, not over fat, but not small, as the store of a glove, not above the size of a nice little baby's little fingers. How he made trust his trade, of fish a pretty crowd, a kettle, of fish a pretty kettle, a kettle. There was a naughty boy, and a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people for to see, where he found that the ground was as hard with a yard, was as long with a song, was as merry with a cherry, was as red with lead, was as weighty with a score, was as eight with a door, was as wooden as in Scotland. So he stood in his shoes, and he wondered, he stood in his shoes, and he wondered.
A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will still keep a bower quiet for us in a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Wherefore on every morning are we retching a furry band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and o'erdarkening ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such as sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep. And such are the follies of the green world we live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make gainst the hot season, the mid-forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk-rose blooms. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we've imagined for the mighty dead, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heaven's brink. Address to Haydon by John Keats. High-mindedness, a jealousy for good, a loving-kindness for the great man's fame, trails here and there with people of no name, in noisome alley and pathless wood. And we think the truth least understood oft may be found a singleness of aim, and ought to frighten in the hooded shame a money-mongering, pitiable brood. A glorious with affection for the cause of steadfast genius toiling gallantly. What when his stout and bending champion awes envy and malice to the native sty? Unnumbered souls breathe out a still applause, proud to behold him in his country's eye. After dark vapours have oppressed our plains by John Keats. After dark vapours have oppressed our plains for long grey season, comes the day born of a gentle south, and clears away from the sick heavens all unseemly stains. The anxious month, relieved of its pains, takes as a long-lost ride the feel of May. The eyelids with a passing coolness play like rose leaves with a drip of summer rains. The calmless thoughts come round us as of leaves budding, fruit ripening in stillness, autumn sun smiling at eve upon the quiet sheaves. Sweet Sappho's cheek, a smiling infant's breath, the cradle sand that through an hourglass runs, a woodland rivulet, a poet's death. Answer to Sonnet by John Keats. Dark eyes that Drear far, vows the mock-verse synth and Belle. Blue, this the life of heaven, the domain, white palace of the sun, the tent of Hesperus and all his train, bosom of clouds, gold, grey and dun. Blue, 'tis the life of waters, ocean, all its vessel streams, pools numberless, may rage and foam and fret, and never can subside, if not to dark blue nativeness. Blue, gentle cousin of the forest green, male to green and always sweetest of flowers. Forget-me-not, the bluebell and that queen of secrecy, the violet. What strange powers hast thou as a mere shadow, but how great when in the eye thou art alive, fate. Apollo and the Graces by John Keats. Apollo. Which of the fairest three today will ride with me, a steed's outpouring at the threshold of a morn? Which of the fairest three today will ride with me across the cold autumn's whole kingdom of corn? The Graces all answer, I will, I. Young Apollo, let me fly along with thee. I will, I, the many wonders to see. I, and the lyre shall never have a slackened string. I, for the golden day will sing. Asleep, oh sleep a little while, white pearl, by John Keats. Asleep, oh sleep a little while, white pearl, and let me kneel, and let me pray to thee, let me call heaven's blessing on thine eyes, and let me breathe into thee happy air, that doth enfold and touch thee all about, vows of my slavery, my giving up, my sudden adoration, my great love. Bards of Passion and of Mirth, by John Keats. Bards of passion and of mirth, ye have left your souls on earth. Have your souls in heaven too doubled lived in regions new? Yes, in vows of heaven commune, with spheres of sun and moon, the noise of fountains wondrous, and peal of voices thunderous, a whisper of heaven's trees, and one another in soft ease, seated on Elysian lawns, browsed by none but Dian's fawns. Underneath large bluebells tended, where the daisies are rose-scented, and the roses have a scarlet perfume which on earth is not, where the nightingale doth sing, and the senseless tranced thing, divine melodies, truth, philosophic numbers smooth, tales and golden histories of heaven and its mysteries. Thus ye live on high, and then on the earth ye live again. The souls ye left behind you teach us here the way to find you, where your other souls are joining, never slumbered, never cloying. Here your earthborn souls still speak to mortals of their little week, of their sorrows and delights, of their passions and their spites, their glory and their shame. but of strength and of maim, must ye teach us every day wisdom who fled far away. Bards of passion and of mirth, ye have left your souls on earth, ye have souls in heaven too, double-lived in regions new. Bright star, by John Keats. Bright star, what the most steadfast as thou art, not alone splendor hung aloft the night, and watching, with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient sleepless amity, the moving waters at their priest-like task of pure ablution around earth's human shores, or gazing on the new sought-fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors, nor yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillared upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall and swell, awake forever in a sweet unrest, still to hear her tender taken breath, and so live ever, or else soon to death.
Character of Charles Brown by John Keats. He used to read a melancholic glare, wind in the waste with bushy head of hair, as half the cedar's thistle when in pale it holds the sapphire, aye, it sendeth fair, its light balloons into the summer air. Where his beard had not begun to bloom, no brush had touched his chin or razor sheer, no care had touched his cheek with mortal doom, but knew he was and bright as scarf from Persian loom. Ne cared he for wine or half and half, ne cared he for fish and flesh and fowl, and saucers held he worthless as the chaff. He singed with swin he had at the wassail bowl, ne with lewd rebels sat he checked by Joel. Ne with sly lemons in the scorner chair, but after water brooks this pilgrim's soul planted, and all his foot was woodland air, thought he would oft times fleeced of gilliflowers rare. The slang of cities in no wise he knew, tipping a wink to him was heathen Greek. He sipped no olden Tom or Rune Blue, or Nensed or Cherry Brand drank full meek, but many a damson Horace and rock of check. Nor did he know each aged watchman's beat, none obscure Pulus would he seek, for curled with ankles neat, who as they walk abroad make tinkling with their feet.
Daisy Song by John Keats. The sun with his great eye sees not so much as I, and the moon, all silver proud, might as well be in a cloud. And over the spring, I lead the life of a king, couched in the teeming grass, I spy each pretty lass. I look where no one dares, and I stare where no one stars, and when the night is night, lambs bleat my lullaby. Dedication to Leigh Hunt by John Keats. Glory and loveliness have passed away, if we wander out in early morn, no wreaths and scents do we see upborne into the east, to meet the smiling day. No crowd of nymphs soft-voiced and young and gay, in woven baskets bringing ears of corn, roses, and pinks and violets, to adorn the shrine of Flora in her early May. But there are left delights as high as these, and I shall ever bless my destiny, that in a time when under pleasant trees Pan is no longer sought, I feel a free and leafy luxury, seeing I could please with these poor offerings a man like we.
Fancy by John Keats. Ever let the fancy roam, pleasure never is at home. At a touch sweet pleasure melleth, like the bubbles when rain pelleth. When that winged fancy wander through the fort sits spread beyond her, a bright romantic coach door shall well dart forth in clouded song. Oh fancy, sweet fancy, let her loose, summer's joys are spoiled by youth, and the enjoying of the spring fades as does its blooming. Autumn's red-lipped fruitage too, blushing through the mist and dew, cloys with tasting what when sit we by the Endymion. The sea forgot blazed bright, spirit of the winter's night, when the soundless earth is muffled and the caked snow is shuffled. Through the play of heavy shoon, where the night dove meet the moon, in a dark conspiracy to banish even from the sky, save beware and send abroad with a mind shelf or war. Fancy high commissioned send her. She has vessels to attend her. She will bring, in spite of frost, beauties that the earth hath lost. She will bring thee all together, all delights of summer weather, all the buds and bells of May, from dew sword or thorny spray, all the happed autumn's wealth, with a still mysterious stealth. She will mix these pleasures up, like free-fit wines in a cup. Woe shalt of it, woe shalt hear, distant harvest's carols clear, rustle of the reaping corn, sweet birds anthening the morn, and at the same moment, hark, this the April lark, or the rooks with busy call, frolicking for sticks and straw, or should at one glance behold the daisy and the marigold, wide pulving lines in the first, edge-crowned primroses would half burst, shade of hyacinths array, shaper queen of might May, and every leaf and every flower peered with the self-same shower, who shall see the field mouse peep, marriage from its sealed sleep, and the snake all winter thin cast on sunny banks its skin. Freckled nest eggs thou shalt see, hatching in the hawthorn tree, and the henbird's winged of rest, quiet on the mossy nest. And the hurry and alarm, when a bee cased its swarm, or corns ripped and clattering, while the autumn breezes sing. O sweet fancy, let it loose, everything it spoils by use. Where's the check that doth not fade, too much gazed at? Where's the maid, whose lip matress ever knew? Where's the eye, however blue, doth not vary? Where's the fancy one would meet in every place? Where's the voice, however soft, one would hear so very soft, and a touch of sweet pleasure melleth, like the bubbles when rain pelleth? Let, when wicked fancy find, be a mistress to the mind, rouge-led eyes as Greece' daughters, ere the good of torment taught her, how to frown and how to chide, with waist and with sight. White as Hebs, when her zone slipped its golden clasp and down, fell her girdle to her feet, while she held the goblet sweet, and Jove grew languid, who break the smash of a fancy's sagging lash. Quickly break her prisoned string, and such joys as these she will bring, and at the ringed fancy room pleasure never is at home. Fill for me a brimming bowl, by John Keats. Fill for me a brimming bowl, and in it let me drown my soul, but rain some drug designed to banish woman from my mind. For I want not the stream inspiring, that fills the mind with fond desiring. I don't want as deep a draught, as ere from life's wave was quaffed, from my despairing heart to charm the image of fairest form, whate'er my reeling eyes beheld, whate'er my wandering fancy sped. In vain, away I cannot chase the melting softness of that face, the beamingness of those bright eyes, reserve only paradise. My sight will never more be blessed, for all I see has lost its zest, nor with delight can I explore the classic page of Muse lore. Had she but known how beat my heart, and with one smile wired its smart, I should have felt a sweet relief, I should have felt the joy of grief. Yet as the Tuscan mid the snow of Lapland dreams on sweet Arno, even so far ever shall she be the holy of my memory.
Georgiana Augusta Keats by John Keats. Give me your patience, sister, while I frame exact in capitals your golden name. As Jove, fair Apollo, and he will rouse from his heavy slumber and instill great love in me for thee and poesy. Imagine not that greatest mastery and kingdom over all the realms of verse, nearest more to heaven and earth, and when we nurse, and surety give to love and brotherhood. Anthropophagy and our fellows mood, Ulysses stormed in this enchanted vale to glow with a muse, and they are never failed, unbosomed sons, so eternal made, such tender incense in the loyal shade to all the regent sisters of a nine, as this poor offering to you, sister mine. Kind sister, I, whose third name says you are, enchanted has it been the Lord knows where. May it taste you like good old wine, take you to real happiness, and give sons, daughters, and a home like honeyed heath. Happy is England, I could be content, by John Keats. Happy is England, I could be content, to see no other verdure than its own, to feel no other breezes than their bloom through its tall woods with high romances blent. Yet do I sometimes feel a languishment for skies Italian, and an inward groan to sit upon an Alp as on a throne, and half forget what world or worldling meant. Happy is England, sweeter artless daughters, enough for simple loveliness for me, and of the whitest arms in silence clinching. Yet do I often warmly burn to see beauties of deeper glance, and hear their singing, and float with them about the summer waters. Hither, hither, love, John Keats. Hither, hither, love, is a shady mead. Hither, hither, love, that has feet and feet. Hither, hither, sweet, is a cowslip bed. Hither, hither, sweet, 'tis of dew bespread. Hither, hither, dear, by the breath of life. Hither, hither, dear, by the summer's wife. One moment's pleasure, one moment's flies, of a passion's treasure, in one moment dies. Yet it has not passed, think how near, and while it doth last, think how dear, how dear. Hither, 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 love its boon has sent, if I die in the river, I shall die content. How many bards gild the lapses of time, by John Keats. How many bards gild the lapses of time, a few of them have ever been the fruit of my delighted fancy, like a brood of the beauties earthly or sublime. Often when I sit me down to rhyme, these villain throngs before my mind intrude, and no confusion nor disturbance rude to their occasion. It is a pleasing chime, so the unnumbered sounds that evening store, the songs of birds, whispering of the leaves, the voice of waters, the great bell that heaves, the solemn sound, and a thousand others more, the distance of recognizing bereft, makes pleasing music and not wild uproar. Hush, hush, tread softly, by John Keats. Hush, hush, tread softly, hush, hush, my dear. All the house is asleep, but you know very well that jealous old maid may hear. Oh, who've petted his nightcap, oh, sweet Isabel, for your feet are more light than the fairies' feet, who dance on bubbles where brooklets meet. Hush, hush, soft of tone, hush, hush, my dear, for less than nothing the jealous can hear. A lift of tremble, a riplets way on the river, while still in the night's sleepy eye closes up and forgets all its leaving care. Charmed to death by the drone of a humming mayfly, and the moon, without prudish complaints, and I fled to her bower, well knowing I want no light in the dusk, no torch in the gloom, but my Isabel's eyes, the lips bright with blue. Lift the latch, or gently, or tenderly, sweet, we are dead, that latch gives one little chink. Well then, now was lips and a flowery seat, the old man may sleep, the planets may wink, to shut rose shall dream over our loves, and awake for blown, such warmth of a morning's take. The stock dove shall half a soft brazen shall cool, while I kiss the melody, making the fool. I heard the dove, by John Keats. I heard the dove, and the sweet dove died. Therefore it died of grieving. Oh, what could it grieve for? Its feet were tied with a single thread of my own hands weaving. Sweet little red feet, why should you die? Should you leave me, sweet bird, why? You lived alone in a forest tree. Why, pretty thing, would you not live with me? I kissed you oft and gave you white peace. Why not live sweetly as in the green trees? If by dull rhymes our English must be chained, by John Keats. If by dull rhymes our English must be chained, and like Andromeda, the sonnet sweet, fettered, in spite of pain, loveliness. Let us find out if we must be constrained, sandals more interwoven and complete to fit the naked foot of poesy. Let us inspect the lyre and weight the stress of every chord, and see what may be gained by ear industrious and attention meet. Measure of sound and syllable, no less than meters of his coinage, let us be jealous of dead leaves and the bare of crown. So if we may not let the muse be free, she will be bound with garlands of her own.
Imitation of Spenser, by John Keats. Now morning from orange chamber came, and the first footsteps touched a verdant hill, crowning its lone crest with amber flame, silvering the untamed gushes of its rill, which pure Formosi beds did down distill, and after parching beds of simple flowers, by many streams a little lake did fill, which round its marge reflected woven bowers, and in its middle space a sky that never lowers. Where the kingfisher saw his plumage bright, viening the fish of brilliant dye below, whose silken fines and golden scales light cast upward through the waves a ruby glow. Where saw the swan his neck of arched snow, and roared himself along with majesty. Sparkled his jetty eyes, his feet did show, beneath his waves like Afric, and on its back a fay reclined voluptuously. Ah, could I tell the wonders of an isle, that in that fairest lake had place been, I couldn't die of a grief beguiled, or rogue from King Lear his bitter teen. For sure so fair a place was never seen, of all that ever charmed romantic eye. It seemed an emerald in the silver sheen of the bright waters, or as when on high, through clouds of fleeced white, laughs the cruel sky. And all around a dipped luxuriosity, sloping of verdure through a glossy tide, which, as it were in gentle amity, rippled delighted up the flowery side, as if to glean ruddy tears it tried, which fell profuse from the rose-tree stem. Haply it was the working of its pride, in strife to throw upon the shore a gem, outwilling all the buds and flowers' diadem.
In Drear night of December, by John Keats. In drear night of December, to happy, happy tree, a branches nay remember their green felicity. The north cannot undo them, with a sleety whistle through them, no frozen faunas glue them from budding at the prime. In drear night of December, to happy, happy brook, the bubblings nay remember Apollo's summer look. But with a sweet forgetting, they stay their crystal fretting, never, never petting about the frozen time. I would resolve of many a gentle girl and boy, but were there ever any rift not at past joy? I feel of not to feel it, when there's none to heal it, for numbed sense to steal it was never said in rhyme. Keen, fitful gusts are whispering here and there, by John Keats. Keen, fitful gusts are whispering here and there among the bushes, half leafless and dry. The stars look very cold above the sky. I have many miles on foot to fare, yet feel a little of the cool bleak air, of the dead leaves rustling drearily, of those silver lamps that burn on high, of the distance from home's pleasant lair. For I am brimful of a friendliness in a little cottage I have found, of fair-haired Milton's eloquent distress, and all his love for gentle Lucid drowned, of lovely Laura in her light green dress, and faithful Petra gloriously crowned. La belle dame sans merci, John Keats. What can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and pale loitering? Such has bird from the lake and no birds sing. What can ail thee, knight at arms, against the Rubicon, as girl's granary is full and the harvest's done? I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. Amid the lady in the meads, the beautiful, the fair child, hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. Amid the garland for her head, and bracelets too, and fragrant zone, she looked at me as she did laugh and made sweet moan. I sat on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long, for sidelong would she bend and sing a very song. She found me roots of real sweet, her honey wild and mannered hue, and through language strange she said, I love thee true. She took me to elfin grove, where she wept and sighed for sore, where shut her wide eyes of kisses fall. And there she lulled me asleep, there I dreamed, woe betide, the latest dream I ever dreamt, on the cold hillside. I saw pale knights and princes too, pale warriors, death pale we were all. They cried, La belle dame sans merci, have we enthrall. I saw their stuffed lips in the gloam, of horrid warning kept wide. I awoke and found me here, on the cold hillside, with his wise sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, with sedges withered from the lake and no birds sing. Lines from Endymion, by John Keats. The thing of beauty is a joy forever, its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams, health, and quiet breathing. Wherefore, on every morrow are we reffing a flowy band to bind us to the earth, spite of the despondence of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures of the gloomy days, all the unhealthy in our darkened ways, made for searching. Yes, spite of all, some shade of beauty moves away the pall our dark spirits.
Lines by John Keats. Unfelt, unheard, unseen, I've left my little queen, her languid arms in silver slumber lying. Ah, through a nestling touch, who could tell how much? There is for madness, cruel and complaining. Was fairy lids how sleek, was lips how moist, they speak in rippets quiet, shadows of sweet sounds, into my fancy ear, melting a burden dear. How laugh thou now, no fullness, nor no bounds. True tender monitors, I bend unto your laws, with sweetest day for dalliance was born. So without more ado, I'll fell my heaven anew, for all the blushing of a hasty morn.
Lines on Seeing a Lock of Milton's Hair, by John Keats. Chief of organic numbers, old scholar of the spheres, thy spirit never slumbers, but rolls about our ears, forever and forever. I would a mad endeavour work of thee, who to thy sacred and ennobled hairs would offer a burnt sacrifice of verse and melody. O heavenward thou soundest, live temple of sweet noise, and discord unconfoundedst, giving delight new joys, and pleasure noble opinions. O where thy dominions? Lend thine ear to a young Delian oath, I but the soul, by all that from thy mortal lips did roll, and by the kernel of thine earthly love, beauty, and things on earth and things above. And every childish fashion has vanished from my rhyme, will I crake on in passion, give to an aftertime hymning and harmony of thee, and of the words and of thy life. But vain is now the burning and the strife, pangs are in vain, till I grow high rife with old philosophy, and mad with glimpses of futurity. For many years my offerings must be hushed. When I do speak, I think upon this hour, because I feel my forehead hot and flushed, even at the simplest vessel of her power. A lock of her bright hair, Sudden it came, and I was startled when I heard thy name, coupled so unaware. Yet at the moment temperate was my blood, before the head beheld it from the flood. Lines on the Mermaid Tavern by John Keats. Souls of poets dead and gone, would Elysium have ye known, happy fields, a mossy cavern, choicer than the Mermaid Tavern? Have ye tippled drink more fine than mine's host can rewine? Or are fruits of paradise sweeter than those dainty pies of vengeance? Or generous food, dressed as though bold Robin Hood would with maiden Marian sip and bows from horn and can? A third that on a day, mine host's signboard flew away, nobody knew whither, till an astrologer's old quill to a sheepskin gave a story, said he saw you in your glory underneath a new old sign, a sipping beverage divine, and pleading with content smack the mermaid in the zodiac. Souls of poets dead and gone, would Elysium have ye known, happy fields a mossy cavern, choicer than the Mermaid Tavern? Lines rhymed in a letter from Oxford, by John Keats. The Gothic looks solemn, the plain Doric column supports an old bishop and crozier. The mouldering art, shaded o'er by a lark, stands next door to Wilson the hosier. Wise, that is, by turns, our pale faces mourns, the black tasseled trencher and common hat. The gentry boy sings, the steeple bell rings, and that's of a chancellor dominant. There are plenty of trees, and plenty of ease, and plenty of fat deer for parsons. And when it is vengeance, short is the vengeance, when each on a leg of 5 fastens.
Lines to Fanny by John Keats. What can I do to drive away remembrance from my eyes? For I have seen, an hour ago, my brilliant queen. Touch has a memory. Oh, say, laugh, say, what can I do to kill it and be free in my old liberty? When every fair one that I saw was fair, enough to catch me in but half a snare, not keep me where. When, however poor or partially coloured things, my muse had wings, and ever ready was to take a course, whither I bent a force, unintellectual, yet divine to me. Divine, I say? What seabird over the sea is a philosopher, where while he goes, winging along where the great water flows? How shall I, to get anew, those mold his feathers, and so mount once more, above, to reach of fluttering a laugh? And make him cower lowly, will I soar? Shall I gulp wine? No, that is vulgarism, a heresy and schism. Foist into the corner, law of laugh. No, wine is only sweet to happy man, more dismal cares. Seize on me unawares. Where shall I learn to keep me peace again, to banish thoughts of that most hateful land? Dungeon of my friends, would wicked strand, where were wrecked and life a wrecked life, but monstrous region whose dire rivers pour, ever from their sword yearns unto the shore. Unowned of any weed hair goes, whose winds all Cephalus holds, gorge roots, iced in the great lakes, to afflict mankind. Whose ring-drowned forest black and blind, would fright it right, whose harsh herbaged mats make lean and lank the starved oak's weary fats. Where flowers have no scent, birds no sweet song, and great unerring nature once seems warm. Or for some sunny spell to dissipate the shadows of his hell, say where gone, with a new dimming light steps forth my lady bright. Or let me once more rest my soul upon the dazzling breast, and once again with aging arms be placed, the tender gallows of the waist, and let me feel with warm breath here and where this breed a rapture in my very hair. O sweetness of the pain, give me those lips again. Enough, it is enough for me to dream of thee.
Lines written in the Highlands after a visit to Burns country, John Keats. There is a charm in footing slow across a silent plain. The patriotic battle has been fought, the glory had the gain. There's a pleasure on the heath that Druid's old hath been, the Mendel's grave rustled by and swept the nettles green. There's a joy in every spot made known by times of old, new to the feet, although each tale 100 times be told. There's a deeper joy than all, more solemn in the heart, more parching to the tongue than all, of more diviner smart, when there whose steps forget themselves upon a pleasant turf, upon hot sand, or flinty road, or seashore iron scurf, or the castle of a cot, where long ago was born one who was great from mortal days and died of fame unshorn. Light heather bells may tremble when, but they are far away. Woodlark may sing from sandy fern, the sun may hear the sleigh. Runnels may kiss the grass and shelves and shallows clear, but their low voices are not heard, for come on travellers drear. Blood red the sun may set behind the black mountain peaks. Blue tides may sluice and drench the time in caves and ready creeks. Eagles may seem to sleep wing-side upon the air. Ringdove may fly convulsed across to some high settered lair. But a forgotten eye is still fast lidded to the ground, as Palmer's at the Theranis the desert shrine half found. At such time the soul's a child, and childhood is the brain. Forgotten is the worldly heart, alone it beats in vain. Aye, if a madman could have leave to pass a healthful day, to tell his forehead swoon and faint when first began decay, he might have trembled many a one whose spirit had gone forth to find a bard's low cradle place about the silent north. Scanty the hour, and few the steps, because a longer stay would a bar return, make a man forget his mortal way. A horrible, to lose the sight of well-remembered face, of brother's eyes, of sister's brow, constant to every place. Filling the air, as on we move, with portrait intense, more warm than those heroic tints that pain a painter sends, and shapes of old come striding by, starch of old look shining black, hair scanty grey and passions manifold. No, no, that horror cannot be, for at the cable's length man feels the gentle anchor pulling gladdens in its strength. 1 hour, half in it, he stands the mossy waterfall, but in the very next he reads his soul's memorial. He reads it on the mountain's height, where chance he may sit down upon rough marbled diadem, that hill's eternal crown. But yet his anchor is so fast, room is there for a prayer, that man may never lose his mind on mountains black and bare, that he may stray, league after league, some great birthplace to find, and keep in vision clear from speck, his inward sight unblind. Modern Love by John Keats. And what is a love? It is a doll dressed up for idleness to cosset, nurse and dandle, a thing of soft misnomers, so divine that silly youth to think to make itself divine by loving, that so goes on yawning and doubting how it summer long till Miss Combus made the perfect Tyra. And common Wellingtons turn Romeo boots when Cleopatra lives in number 7 and Antony resides in Brunswick Square. Fools! If some passions high have warmed the world, if queens and soldiers have played deep for hearts, it is no reason why such agonies should be more common than the growth of weeds. Fools! Make me howl again with the weighty pearl the Queen of Egypt melted, let's say that ye may love in spite of beaver heads. O blush not so, by John Keats. O blush not so, O blush not so, or I shall think you knowing, if you smile the blushing while the maiden heads are going. As the blush warned and the blush for shent, the blush for having done it, as the blush for fought and the blush for naught and the blush for just begun it. O sigh not so, for it sounds of Eve's sweet piping. By these loosened lips you have tasted the pips, and fought in an amorous nipping. Will you play once more at knees-cut core, for it only will last our youth out, and we have a prime of a kissing time, we have not one sweet tooth out. There's a sigh for I and a sigh for nigh, and a sigh for I can't be it. Or what can be done, should we stay or run, or cut the sweet apple and share it? O solitude, if I must with thee dwell, by John Keats. O solitude, if I must with thee dwell, let it not be among the jumbled heap of murky buildings, climb with me the steep, nature's observatory, whence the dell flowery slopes, as the river's crystal swell, may seem a span. Let me thy vitals keep amongst boughs pavilioned, that the deer swift leap startles a wild reel from the foxglove bell. Although I gladly trace these scenes with thee, yet the sweet converse of an innocent mind, whose words the images of thoughts refined, is my soul's pleasure, and it sure must be almost the highest bliss of humankind, and of their haunts to kindred spirits flee. Out on a Grecian Urn by John Keats. O still unravished bride of quietness, the foster child of silence and slow time, Syrian historian, who canst thus express a flowery tale more sweetly than our rhyme, what leaf French legend haunts about thy shape, of deities or mortals or of both, and temple of the dales of Acady? What men or gods are these? What maidens love? What mad pursuit? What struggles to escape? What pipes and timbrels? What wild ecstasy? Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore, ye soft pipes, play on, not to the sensual ear, but, more endeared, pipe to the spirit ditties of no tone. Fair youth, benefactress, thou canst not leave thy song, nor ever can those trees be bare. Bold lover, never, never canst thou kiss, while winning near the goal yet do not grieve. She cannot fade, or thou hast not thy bliss, ever wilt thou laugh and she be fair. A happy, happy boughs, that cannot shed your leaves, never bid the spring adieu, and happy melodies that unwearied, forever piping songs forever new. More happy laugh, more happy, happy laugh, forever warm and still to be enjoyed, forever panting and forever young, or breathing human passion far above, what leaves the heart high sorrowful and cloyed, a burning forehead and a parching tongue. Who are these coming to the sacrifice? To what green alpha or mysterious priest leads to that haze lowing of the skies, and all his thick flanks with garlands dressed? What little town by river or seashore or mountain built with peaceful citadel, as emptied of his folk with pious mourn? And little town, thy streets forevermore oil silent be, and not a soul to tell, why thou art desolate, can I return? O Attic shape, the attitude, with breed of marble men and maidens overwrought, with forest branches and with trodden wheat, thou silent form that teasest out of thought, as thou of eternity cold pastoral. And not age shall this generation waste, who shall remain amidst of other woven hours, a friend to man to whom thou sayest, Beauty's truth, truth, beauty, that is all. Ye know on earth all ye need to know. Ode to Melancholy by John Keats. No, no, go not to leave, never twist with Spain tight-rooted for its poisonous wine, nor suffer the pale forehead to be kissed by nightshade, ruby grape of prosper pine. Make not your rosier of dewberries, nor let the beetle nor the death moth be your mournful psyche, nor the downy owl a partner in your sorrow's mysteries. For shade to shade will come too drowsily, and drown the wakeful anguish of a soul. And when the melancholy fit shall fall, sudden from heaven like a weeping cloud, it fosters the drop-headed flowers all, and hides the green hill in an April shroud. Then glut with sorrow on a morning rose, on a rainbow of a salt-sand wave, on wealth of gobbled peonies. If a mistress some rich anger shows, imprison her soft hand, let it rave, and feed deep, deep upon her peerless eyes. She dwells with beauty, beauty that must die, and joy whose hand is ever at his lips, bidding adieu, and aching pleasure night turning to poison where the bee-moth sips. Aye, in the very temple of delight, veiled melancholy has a sovereign shrine, for seen of none save him whose strenuous tongue can burst joy's grape against his palate fine. His soul shall taste the sadness of her might, and be among her cloudy trophies hung.
Ode to Apollo by John Keats. In the western horns of gold, in Osiris in the state, bards with earth's sublime told, and rock deeds and sang of fate. The favor sighs where at Maimon lies, whose chords a solid race, tranquil radiant fires. A Homer with his nervous arms strikes the tracking harp of war, and even a western splendor warms with a trumpet sound afar. What are creatures the most intense surprise, as so looks out through ennobled eyes, when through a temple wide melody swells, with sweet majestic tone of Maro's lyre, the soul delighted on each accent dwells, and rapt dwells, not daring to respire. The wily tales of grief around a funeral pyre, this awful silence when again expectant stand the spirits, briefless the law and peace. No move till ends the lofty strain, no move till Milton's tuneful thunders cease, then leave once more the ravished heavens in peace. For by this Shakespeare wave his hand, and quickly forward spring the passions, a terrific band, and each vibrates with spring. Wet with its tyrant temper best accords, while from the master's lips pour forth the inspiring words. A silver trumpet Spenser's blows, and, as its material notes to silence flee, from a virgin chorus flows heaven praise of spotless chastity. 'Tis still, while robbing from your lyre, enchantments softly brief and trembling expire. Next, by Tasso's ardent numbers float along the pleasant air, calling you from idle slumbers, rousing them from pleasure's lair. One always brings his fingers gently move, and melt with sound the pity and to love. What in the woe joinest with the nine, and all the powers of song combine. We listen here on earth, your dying tones that fill the air, and charm the ear of evening fair. For we, great God of Bards, receive the heavenly birth.
Ode to Autumn by John Keats. Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless the fruit of vines that round the thatch each run, to bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill with fruit of ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plumb the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to sit budding more and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has overbrimmed the clammy cell, who have not seen thee oft amid thy store. Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on the granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, on a half-reaped furrow sound asleep, drowsed with fume of poppies, while the hook spares the next swath and all its twined flowers. And sometimes like a gleaner thou dost keep steady thy laden head across a brook, or by a cedar press with patient look thou watchest the last oozing hours by hours. They are the songs of spring, and where are we? Think not of them, thou hast the music too. The bell clouds bloom the soft dying day, and touch the stubble plains of rosy hue. When in the wailful choir the small gnats mourn among the river's sorrows, borne aloft or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. And full-grown lambs, loud bleat from Helleborn, hedge crickets sing, and now the treble soft the redbreast whistles from a garden croft, and gathering swallows twitter in the skies.
Ode to Fanny by John Keats. Physical nature, let me spirit blood, or ease my heart of verse, and let me rest. Throw me upon the tripod till the flood of stifling numbers ebbs from my full breast. A theme, great nature, give a theme. Let me begin my dream. I come, I see thee, as thou standest where, becon me not into the wintry air. Ah, dearest love, sweet home of all my fears, and hopes, and joys, and painting miseries, tonight, if I may guess, the beauty's verse, a smile of such delight, as brilliant and as bright, as when with ravished age's dazzled eyes, lost in soft amaze, I gaze. Who know, with greedy looks eats up my feast, what stare out faces now my silver moon? Ah, keep that hand unravished at the least, let the morrow's born, but truth do not turn the current of your heart for me too soon. Our safe and charity, the quickest pulse for me. Save it for me, sweet love, for music brief, voluptuous visions into the warm air, for swimming through a dense, dangerous wrath, be like an April day, smiling and cold and gay, a tempered lily, tempered as fair. When heaven, where will be a warmer June for me? This, you'll say, my Fanny, is not true. Put your soft hand upon your snowy side where the heart beats. Confess, 'tis nothing new, must not a woman be, a feather on the sea, swayed to and fro by every wind and tide of uncertain speed, as blow bore from the mead. I know it, and to know it is despair, to one who loves you as I love, sweet Fanny, whose heart goes fluttering for you everywhere, nor when away you roam, there keeps it wretched home. Love alone, his pains zero and many, when loveliest, keep me free from torturing jealousy. Ah, if you prize my subtle soul above the poor, the fading, brief pride of an hour, let none profane my holy sea of love, or with a rude hand break the sacramental cake. Let none else touch the just you budded flower, if not may my eyes close, love on their lost repose. Old Meg, she was a gipsy, by John Keats. Old Meg, she was a gipsy, and lived upon the moors. Her bed, it was a brown heath turf, and her house was out of doors. Her apples were swart blackberries, her currant spots a broom. Her wine was dew of wild white rose, her book a churchyard too. Her brothers were the craggy hills, her sisters larken trees. Alone with her great family, she lived as she did please. No breakfast had she many a morn, no dinner many a noon. Instead of supper she would starve, full hard against the moon. But every morn, of wood and fresh, she made her garland, and every night with dark and dew she wove and she would sing. And with her fingers old and brown she played mats or rushes, and gave them to the cottage. She plaited mats or rushes, and gave them to the cottage. She met among the bushes. Old Meg was brave as Margaret Queen, and tall as Amson. An old red blanket cloak she wore, a chip hat had she on. God rest her aged bones somewhere, she died full long ago. On a Dream by John Keats. As Hermes once took to his fever's light, when lurched Argus, baffled, swooned and slept, so on a Delphic reed my idol sprite, so played, so charmed, so conquered, so birthed, the waking world of all its 100 eyes, and seeing it asleep, so fled away. Not to pure Ida with its snow-cold skis, nor to temper by Jove graved the day, but with second circle of sad hell, amidst the gust, a wild wind in the floor of rain and hailstones. Lovers need to tell their sorrows. Pale were the sweet lips I saw, pale were the lips I kissed, and fair the form I floated with about that melancholy storm.
On the Picture of Leander by John Keats. Come hither, old sweet maiden, soberly, down looking eye, with a chastened light, hidden the fringes of your eyelids white, meekly let your fair hands joined be, as if so gentle that he could not see, untouched the victim of your beauty bright, sinking away to his young spirit's night, sinking bewildered mid the dreary sea. This young Leander toiling to his death, nigh swooning he doth pursue his very lips for Hero's cheek, and smiles against her smile. A horrid dream, see how his body dips, dead heavy, arms and shoulders gleam awhile. He's gone, a bubbles all his morose breath.
On Death by John Keats. Can death be sleep when life is but a dream, and scenes of bliss pass as a phantom by, but transient pleasures as a vision seen, and yet we think the greatest pains to die? How strange it is what man on earth should roam, and lead a life of hope, but not forsake his rugged path, nor dare he view alone his future doom, which is but to wake.
On first looking into Chapman's Homer by John Keats. Much have I travelled in the realms of gold, and many goodly states and kingdoms seen. Round many western isles have I been, which bards and fealty to Apollo hold. Oft of one wide expanse had I been told, that deep broad Homer ruled as his demands. Yet did I never breathe its pure serene, till I heard Chapman speak out loud and bold, and wait I like some watcher of the skies when a new planet swims into his ken, or like stout Cortez when with eagle eyes he started the Pacific, and all his men looked at each other with a wild surmise, silent upon a peak in Darien. On hearing the bagpipe and seeing, John Keats. Of late two dainties were before me placed, sweet, holy, pure, sacred, and innocent. From the ninth sphere to me benignly sent, that gods might have my own particular taste. First the soft bagpipe mourned with zealous haste, a stranger next with head on bosom bent, sighed. Rueful again the piteous bagpipe went, again the stranger sighings fresh did waste. O bagpipe, thou didst steer my heart away, O stranger, thou didst reassert thy sway. Again the stranger gave me fresh alarm, alas, I could not choose, my poor heart, my change a vow with both of glad to part. On leaving some friends at an early hour, by John Keats. Give me a golden pen, and let me lean on heaped up flows, and regions clear and far. Bring me a table within a star, or hand of hymning angel, and a scene with silver strings of heavenly harpentry. And let there glide by many a pearly car, pink robes, and wavy hair, and diamond jar, and half-discovered wings, and glances keen. The wild music wander round my ears, and as it reaches each delicious ending, let me write down a line of glorious tone, and full of many wonders of his fears. For what a height my spirit is contending, does not content so soon to be alone. On receiving a curious shell by John Keats. Hast thou from the caves of Kokona a gem, pure as the ice drop that froze in the mountain, bright as a hummingbird's green diadem when it flutters in sunbeams that shine through a fountain? Hast thou a goblet for dark sparkling wine, a goblet right heavy and messy and gold, and splendidly marked with the story divine of Ermiad the fair in Nild of the bold? Hast thou a steed with a mane richly flowing, hast thou a sword of thine enemy smartest, hast thou trumpet-rich melodies blowing, and wast thou a shield of the famed to Martis? What is it that hangs from thy shoulder, so brave, embroidered with many a spring-peering flower? Is it a scarf that thy fair lady gave, and hast thou known to that fair lady's bower? A courteous Sir Knight, with large joy thou art crowned, for many the glories that brighten thy youth. I will tell thee my blisses which richly abound, and magical powers to bless and to soothe. On the scroll thou seest written in characters fair a sunbeamy tale of a ref and a chain, and warrior, it nurtures the property rare of charming a mind from a tremors of pain. With canopy marked as the work of Fay, benefits rich shade that King Aubryon languished, when lovely Titania was far, far away, and cruelly left him to sorrow and anguish. Where oft would he bring from his soft sighing lute wild strains to which spellbound the nightingales listened. Wandering spirits of heaven were mute, and tears among the dewdrops of morning oft glistened. In his little dome all was melody strange, soft, plaintive, and melting, for ever with sigh, ere will the notes from the tendrils change, and ere will the music of Oberon die. So when I am in the voluptuous vein, I pillow my head on the sweets of a rose, and listen to the tale of Ref and the chain that its echoes depart, then I sink to repose. And you, valiant Eric, with joy thou art crowned, for many the glories that brighten the youth, I do have my blisses, at richly bound, and magical powers to bless and to soothe. On receiving a royal crown from Leigh Hunt, by John Keats. Minutes are flying swiftly, and as yet nothing unearthly has enticed my brain into the delphic labyrinth I would fain catch an immortal thought to pay the debt I owe to the kind poet who has set upon my ambitious head a glorious gain. Too bended laurels brings 'tis nearly pain to be conscious of such a coronet, so that its time is fleeting and no dream arises, gorgeous I would have it only I see a tramping down of what the world most prizes, turbans and crowns and blank regality. And then I run into most wild surmises of all the many glories that may be. On seeing the Elgin marbles for the first time, by John Keats. My spirit is too weak, mortality weighs heavily on me like unwilling sleep, and each imagined pinnacle and steep of godlike hardship tells me I must die like a sick eagle looking at the sky. It is a gentle luxury to weep, I have not the cloudy winds to keep, fresh to the opening of a morning's eye. Such dim convenient glories of the brain bring round the heart an indescribable void, so do these wonders a most dizzy pain that mingles Grecian grandeur with the rude wasting of old time, that will remain a sun, a shadow of the magnitude. Sitting down to read King Lear once again, by John Keats. A golden-tongued romance with serene lute, fair plumped Syren, queen of far away, leave melodizing on this wintry day, shut up thine olden pages and be mute. Adieu, for once again the fierce dispute betwixt damnation and passion clay must I burn through. Once more humble essay, the bitter sweet of his Shakespearean fruit, chief poet in the clouds of Albion, begetteth for deep eternal theme, and through the old oak forest I am gone. Let me not wander in a barren dream, but when I am consumed in the fire, give me new phoenix wings to fly at my desire. On a Grasshopper and a Cricket, by John Keats. The poetry of earth is never dead. All the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in cooling trees, and voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That is the grasshopper's. He takes the lead in summer luxury, as never done with his delights. When tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. The poetry of earth is ceasing never. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence, from the stove shrills the cricket's song, a warmth increasing ever, and seems to one drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. On the Sea, by John Keats. It keeps eternal whisperings around desolate shores, with its mighty swell glues twice 10,000 caverns, that the spell of hectate leaves them their old shadowy sound. Often 'tis in such gentle temper found, that scarcely will the very smallest shell be moved for days from where it sometimes fell, when last the winds of heaven were unbound. O ye, who have your eyeballs waxed and tired, feast upon the whiteness of the sea. O ye, whose ears are dimmed with uproar rude, or fed too much with cloying melody, sit ye near some old cavern's mouth and brood, until ye start, as if the sea nymphs quiet.
On visiting the tomb of Bards, by John Keats. The town, the churchyard, and the setting sun, the clouds, the trees, rounded hills all seem for beautiful, cold, strange, as in a dream I dreamed long ago, now anew begun. The short-lived, pale summer is but one winter's oak for 1 hour's gleam. Through sapphire, warm as stars to never beam, all is cold beauty, pain is never done. For who has mind to relish, minus wise, real of beauty, free from a due who, sickle imagination and sick pride, cast one upon it, burns with honor due, I oft have honored we. Great shadow, hide the face, I sin against the native skies. A Party of Lovers, by John Keats. Pensive I sit and roll rare languid eyes, nibble their toast and cool their tea with sights, or else forget the purpose of the night, forget their tea, forget their appetite, see with crossed arms they sit, happy crew. The fire is going out and no one rings, for coats and wherefore no coats Betty brings. If flies in the milk-pot, must he die by a human society? Oh no, where? Mr. Redcar takes a spoon, inserted, dips the handle in loo. Soon will the straggler saved from peril's dark, across the tea boards drawn along with mark. Arise, take snuffers by the handle, with a large cauliflower in each candle. Winning sheet, me, I must away to North 7, just beyond the circus gate. Alas, my friend, the coast sits very well. Where may your tailor live? I may not tell. Oh, pardon me, I am sent now and when. Where might my tailor live? I say again, I cannot tell. Let me no more be teased. Elves in wrapping might live where he pleased. Robin Hood by John Keats. To a friend. No, those days are gone away, and where hours are old and grey, and where minutes buried all under the downtrodden pall of leaves of many years. Many times of winter's shrieks, frozen north and chilling east, sounded tempest to the feast of the forest whispering fleeces, since men knew nor rent nor leashes. No, the bugle sounds no more, and the twinkling bow no more. Silent is the ivory shrill, past the heath and up the hill, where is no mid-forest laugh, where lone echoes give way to some wight amazed to hear, jesting deep in forest drear. At the fairest time of June, here may God, with sun or moon, of the 7 stars to light you, of one array to bright you. But you never may behold Little John or Robin Boat, never one of all the clan, frumming on an empty can, somewhat hunting deity, while he doth his green way beguiled, to fair hostess merriment down beside the pastor's Trent, for he left the merry tale messenger for spicy ale. Gone the merrymost dime, gone the son of Gamelin, gone the fort-builded outlaw, idling in the green shade. All are gone away and past, and Robin should be cased, sudden from stirred grief, and if Marian shouldn't have once again her forest days, she would weep and he would craze. He would swear for all his oaks, fawn banner for dog-yard strokes, have rotten on the briny seas. She would weep with her wild beasts, sang unto her strange, that honey can't be got without hard money. So it is, yet let us sing. Honor to the old bowstring, honor to the bugger horn, honor to the woods and Antrim, honor to the Lincoln Green, honor to the Archer Keen, honor to the tight Little John, and the horse he rode upon, honor to bold Robin Hood, sleeping in the underwood, honor to Maid Marian, and to all the showered clan. For the days have hurried by, let us too a burden try. Sharing Eve's Apple by John Keats. Oh, blush not so, oh, blush not so, I shall think you knowing, and if you smile the blushing while, when maiden's head are gone. There's a blush for want, and a blush for shame, and a blush for having done it. There's a blush for thought, and a blush for naught, and a blush for just begun it. Oh, sigh not so, oh, sigh not so, for it sounds of Eve's sweet piping. By whose loosened lips you have tasted the pips, and fought in the amorous sniping. Will you pay once more nice capon, for it only will last your youth out, and we have a prime of a kissing time, and we have not one sweet tooth out. There's a sight for A, and a sigh for A, and a sigh for I can't be yet. Oh, what can be done? Shall we stay or run? Oh, cut the sweet apple and share it. Song of 4 Fairies by John Keats. Fire, air, earth, and water, salamander, zephyr, scatter, and bramble. Salamander, happy, happy, glowing fire. Zephyr, fragrant air, delicious light. The scatter, let me to my glooms retire. Bramble, I to the greenwood rivers bright. Salamander, happy, happy, glowing fire, dazzling bows of soft retire. Ever let me nourish wing, like a bat still wandering, faintly fan your fire spaces, spirit souls in deadly places. An unhaunted roar and blaze of my eyes but never daze. Let me see the mirrored shapes of men and beasts and fish and apes, portrayed in many a fire den, and roared by spunky bottom on the deep and tensor roof, arched every way aloof. Let me breathe upon the skies, and anger the life-tape skies, free from cold and every care of chilly rain and shivering air. Zephyr, spirit of fire, away, away, or your very roundelay will soar my plank newly budded from its cradle shed all studded with the self-same news that feel on the May-grown asphodel. Spirit of fire, away, away. Brumming, spirit of fire, away, away. Zephyr, blue-eyed fire turn, and see my cool sedge bird urn, where it rests its mossy brim, mid water mind and creases dime, and the flowers in sweet troubles lift their eyes above the bubbles, like our queen when she would please to sleep and prone will tease. Love me, blue-eyed fairy true, soothly I am sick for you. Zephyr, gentle Brumming by the first, violet young nature nursed, I will bathe myself with thee, so you sometimes follow me to my home, far, far and west, beyond the nimble wheeling quest. Of a golden rose sun, come with me, our tops of trees, to a fragrant places, where way ever floated a benefit cherish of a star, called Vesper, who with silver veil ever hides his brilliance pale, ever gentle drones do kept twilight for the face to sleep. Fear not that your watery hair will first embroider your wrinkles wear. Clouds of stored summer rains will shall taste before the stains of the mountain soil will take, and too unloosened for we make. I love ye, crystal fairy true, sooth I am sick for you. Salamander, oh ye English fairies out, chilly lovers what a road, kept you with your frozen breath colder than the mortal death. Aided I to skate and speak, shall relieve these inkers seek. We earth's white eternal old, coaches warm as we are cold. Our fire gloom we, the skater, soil and canty, freckle wrinkled and lizard sight. The skater, the wee spirit, will I be guided, I care not for cold or heat, frost or flame, or sparks or sleet, to my essence are the same, but I honor more the flame. Spirit of fire, I follow we, wheresoever I may be, to the towards boats and fountains, underneath earthquake mountains, or at the supreme desire touch the very pulse of fire, with my bare unlidded eyes. Salamander, sweet to skater paradise, of ye ice spirits fly, froze creatures of the sky. The skater, breathe upon them, fire's bright, Sapphire and Bremer, away to our delight. Salamander, your feet on icelets, while rebedded in tan flames will be. The skater, led me towards Pharaoh's glooms, spirit of fire. Bremer, me to the blooms, blue-eyed zephyr of those flowers, far in the west where the May cloud lowers, and the beams of still whisper when winds are all whist, and shed from the rain the milder mist, and trail at your floating bowers.
Sonnet to Byron by John Keats. Byron, how sweetly said the melody, attuning still the soul to tenderness, as if soft pity with unusual stress had touched the plaintive lute, and though being by, had scorned the tones, nor suffered them to die. Our shattering soul doth not make we less delightful, though the griefs doth dress with a bright halloo shining beamily. And when the cloud the golden moon doth wear, its sides are tinged with resplendent glow, through the dark robe of amber rays prevail, and like their veins in silver marble flow. Still warble, dying swan, still tell the tale, the enchanting tale, the tale of pleasing woe. Sonnet to Sleep by John Keats. A soft embalmer of a still midnight, shutting with careful fingers and beneath a gloom-plashed eyes, embowered from the light, and shaded in forgetfulness divine, a soothest sleep, if so it please thee close, amidst of his fine hymn my willing eyes. Await the amen of a poppy frost around my bed its lulling charities. And save me of a past day will shine upon my pillow, breeding many woes. Save me from curious conscience, which still hoards its strength for darkness, spoiling like a mole. Turn the key deftly in the old wards, and seal the hushed casket of my soul. Sonnet to Spenser by John Keats. Spenser, a jealous honourer of wine, a foes to deepen the midmost trees, at last Eve asked my promise to refine some English that might strive an ear to please. But elfin poet, 'tis impossible for an inhabitant of wintry earth to rise like Phoebus with a golden quill, fire-winged, and make a morning in his mirth. It is impossible to escape from toil of a sudden and receive the spiriting. The flower must drink the nature of the soil before it can put forth its blossoming. But with me in the summer days, and I will for thine honour and his pleasure try. Sonnet to the Nile by John Keats. Son of the old moon, mountains, African, chief of the pyramid and crocodile, we call thee fruitful, and that they while a desert filter sings inwards ben, nor to support nations since the world began. Art thou so fruitful, or dost thou beguile such men to honour thee, who worn with toil, rest for space twixt Cairo and Deccan? Or may dark fancies err, they surely do, this ignorance that makes a barren waste of all beyond itself. Or dost but you green rushes like our rivers, and dost haste the pleasant sunrise? Green isles hast thou too, and to the sea as happily dost haste. Staffa by John Keats. Not Aladdin magical never such a work began, the wizard with the D ever such a dream could see. Not St. John in Patmos Isle, in the passion of his toil, we saw the churches 7, golden aisles, built up in heaven, gazed at such a rugged wonder. As it stood its roofing under low, as though on sleeping were, on the marble cold and bare, while the surges washed his feet, and his garments whited beat, drenched about with sombre rocks, on his neck his well-grown locks, lifted dry upon the mane, were upon the curl again. What is this, and what art thou? Whispered I, and touched his brow. What art thou, and what is this? Whispered I, and strove to kiss a spirit's hand to wake his eyes. Up he started in his dries. And Lycidias, said he, famed in funeral minstrelsy, This was architecture that was by the great Orcanus. Here his mighty waters play, hollow orgies all the day. Here by turns his dolphins all, finely palmers great and small, come to pay devotion due. Each a mouth of pearls must strew. Many mortal of these days dares to pass those sacred ways, dares to touch audaciously this cathedral of the sea. I've been the pontiff priest, the waters never rest, the fledgy seabird choir soars forever, holy fire. A fit for mortal man, Proteus is my sacristan. Of the dulled eye of mortal have passed beyond the rocky portal, so forever will I leave such attained and soon unweave all the magic of a place. So saying, with a spirit's glance, he dieth. Stanzas to Miss Willie by John Keats. O calm Georgiana, the roses full blown, which the floor are lavishly strewn, the air is all softness and crystal streams, the west is splendidly clothed in beams. O come, let us haste to the freshening shades, the quaintly carved seats and the opening glades. The fairies are chanting the evening hymns, and in the last sunbeam the silver lily swims. And when thou art weary, I'll find thee a bed of moss and flowers to pillow thy head, and there, Georgiana, I'll sit at thy feet, and the story of love I enraptured repeat. So fondly I'll breath, so softly I'll sigh, thou would think that some more sapphire is nigh. Yet know as the breath will press thy fair knee, and thou wilt know that a sigh comes from me. Ah, why, dearest girl, should we lose all these blisses, but mortal's a fool who such happiness misses? So smile, acquaintance, and give me thy hand, with love-looking eyes, and the voice sweetly blend. The day is gone, by John Keats. The day is gone, and all its sweets are gone. Sweet voice, sweet lips, soft hand and softer breast, warm breath, light whisper, tender semitone, bright eyes, accomplished shape and languorous waist. Faded the flow and all its budded charms, faded the sigh of beauty from my eyes, faded the shape of beauty from my arms, faded the voice, warmth, whiteness, paradise, vanished unseasonably at shut of eve, when the dusk holiday, a holy night, of fragrant curtained love begins to weave a woof of darkness thick, for hid delight. As I read love's missal through today, here let me sleep, seeing I fast and pray. The Human Seasons by John Keats. 4 seasons with the measure of a year. There are 4 seasons in the mind of man. He has his lusty spring, and fancy clear takes in of beauty with an easy span. He has his summer, when luxuriously spring's honeyed cut of youthful thought he loves to ruminate, and where such dreaming high is nearest unto heaven. Quiet coves his soul has in its autumn, and his wings he furleth close, contented to so look on mists and idleness, to let fair things pass by unheeded as a threshold brook. He has his winter to of pale misfeature, or else he would forego his mortal nature. Think of it not, sweet one, by John Keats. Think not of it, sweet one, so, give it not a tear, sigh thou mayst, and bid it go anywhere. No lule so sad, sweet one, sad and fadingly, shed one drop when it is gone, it was born to die. Still so pale, then, dearest, weep, account the tears, and each one shall be a bliss for thee in after years. Brighter hares it left thine eye than a sunny rill, and thy whispering melodies are tender still. Yet as all things mourn a while, and fleeting blisses e'en let us too, but be our dirge a dirge of kisses.
This Living Hand by John Keats. This living hand, no warm and cabal, of earnest grasping, what if it were cold, and in the icy silence of a tomb, so haunt the days and chill the dreaming nights, that row whiles to geschwin own heart dry of blood. So my veins sweat life might stream again, and thou be conscience calmed. See, here it is, I haunted towards you.
To a friend who sent me some roses, by John Keats. As late I rambled in the happy fields, what time the skylark shakes the tremulous dew from his lush clover covert, when new adventurous knights take up their dinted shields. I saw the sweetest flower wild nature yields, a fresh blown musk rose. 'Twas the first that threw its sweet upon the summer. Graceful it grew, as is the one that Queen Titania wields. And as it feasted on its fragrancy, I thought the garden rose it far excelled. But when a Wells rose came to me, my sense of their deliciousness was spelled. Soft voices had way, that with tender plea whispered of peace and truth and friendliness unquelled. To a lady seen for a few moments at Vauxhall by John Keats. Times ye have been 5 years at its slow ebb, long hours have to and fro let creep the sand, as I was tangled in the beauty's web, and snared by the ungloving of thine hand. Yet I never look on midnight sky, but I behold thine eyes, thy memoried light. I cannot look upon the rose's dye, but to thy cheek my soul doth take its flight. I cannot look on any budding flower, but my fond ear and fancy at thy lips, hearkening for a love sound, doth woo its sweets in the wrong sense. O dost eclipse every delight of sweet remembering, and grief unto my darling joys dost bring. To Ailsa Rock by John Keats. Hearken, the craggy ocean pyramid, give answer by the voice of seafowl screams, when with thy shoulders mantled in huge streams, when for the sun was thy broad forehead hid. How long is since the mighty power bid thee heave to airy sleep from baffled dreams? Sleep in the lap of thunder or sunbeams, when grey clouds are thy cold coverlet. Thou answerest not, for thou art dead asleep. For life is but to dead eternities, the last on air, former in the deep. First with the whales, last with eagle skies, drowned wast thou till an earthquake made thee steep, and ever cannot wake the giant sighs.
To Autumn by John Keats. Session of mist and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of a matron sun, God spare her from how to load and bless the fruit vines that round thy thatcher's eaves run, to bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruits with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells, with a sweet kernel to set pudding more, and still more later flowers for the bees, until we think warm days will never cease. For summer has all brimed their calmy sails. Who have not seen we of admit the store, sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find we sitting careless on a granary floor, by hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, on a half-wrapped rose sound asleep, drowsed with a fume of poppies, wild of hawk, sparse the next swath, and all its twined flowers, and sometimes like a gleaner thou dost kept, steadily laden head across a brook, or by a cider press, with patient look, or wasted the last oozing hours by hours. Where are the songs of spring? Aye, where are we? Think not of them, who hast the music too. Where berry clouds bloom the soft dying day, and touch the stubbled plains with rosy hue, when in a wailful core the small gnods mourn, among rivers' shallows borne aloft, or sinking as the light wind lives or dies, and full-grown lambs loud bleat from hilly bourne. Hedge crickets sing, and other trills soft, with red-breast whistles from a garden croft, and gathering swallows twitters in the skies.
To Byron by John Keats. Byron, how sweetly said the melody, attuning still the soul to tenderness, as if soft pity with unusual stress had touched the plaintive lute, and thou being by, hadst caught the tones, and suffered them to die. Our shedding soul doth not make thee less delightful, though thy griefs dost dress with a bright halloo shining beamily, as when a cloud the golden moon doth veil, its sides are tinged with resplendent glow, with a dark robe of amber rays bewail, and like fair veins in silver marble flow. Still warble, dying swan, still tell the tale, the enchanting tale, the tale of pleasing woe. To Chatterton by John Keats. O Chatterton, how very sad thy fate, dear child of sorrow, son of misery! Soon the film of death obscured that eye, whence genius mightily flashed and high debate. How soon that voice, majestic and elate, melted in dying numbers. Oh, how nigh was night to thy fair morning! Thou didst eye a half-blown floweret, which could blast a mate. And this is past, what among the stars of highest heaven, the rolling spheres thou sweetly singest, naught, thy hymning mass, above the ingrid world and human fears. And if the good man base detraction bars, from thy fair name and waters it with tears.
To Emma by John Keats. O come, dearest Emma, the rose is full blown, and the riches of Flora are lavishly strewn. The air's all softness and crystal with streams, and with west is resplendently close and beams. We will hasten, my fair, to the opening glades, with the quaintly carved seats and refreshing shades, with the fairies are chanting their evening hymns, and in the last sunbeam the swift light swims. And when thou art weary, I'll find thee a bed of mosses and flowers to pillow the head, where, beauteous Emma, I'll sit at the feet, where my story of love I enraptured repeat. So fondly I breathe, and so softly I sighed, I will think that some amorous devices night. I know as I breathe, I have pressed a Fanny, and I know will know what a sight comes from me. When, why, lovely girl, should we lose all these blisses? But mortals fool who such happiness misses. So smile, acquaintance, and give me the hand, with love-looking eyes and a voice sweetly bland.
To George Keats in America by John Keats. A switching of night, orbed in the moon and bright, and the stars they glisten, glisten, seeing with bright eyes to listen. What listened they? For song and for charm, see they glisten in alarm. Moon is waxing warm to hear what I shall say. Moon, keep wide the golden ears, hearken stars and hearken spheres, hearken for eternal sky, I sing an infant's lullaby, a pretty lullaby. Listen, 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 glisten, 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 and hear my lullaby. The rushes that will make its cradle still are in the lake, or the linen that will be its woof is on the cotton tree, or the woolen that will keep it warm is on the silly sheep. Listen, starlight, listen, listen, glisten, 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 hear my lullaby. Child, I see thee, child, I found thee, midst of a quiet all around thee, and the mother sweet as an ivy, the poet evermore. See, see, the lion, a flame of fire, or the cradle's top, flaring, 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 past your eyesight spearing, awake from its sleep, and see if it can keep its eyes upon the blaze, amazed, amazed. It stars, it stars, it stars, it dares what no one dares. It lifts a little hand into the flame unharmed, on the strings plays a little tune and sings of dumb endeavour sweetly, bard artwork completely. Little child of the western wild, bard artwork completely, sweetly with dumb endeavour, a poet no or never. Little child of the western wild, a poet no or never. To Homer, by John Keats. Standing aloof and shy in ignorance of the here and of the clickadels, as one who sits ashore and longs perchance to visit dolphin coral and deep seas. So woe was blind, and then the whale was rent, for Jove uncourted heaven to let thee live, and Neptune made for thee his balmy tent, and Pan made sing for thee his forest heath. I am the shores of darkness, there's light, and precipice shorn trodden green, there's a budding moor in the midnight, there's a triple sight and blindness keen, such a seeing heart's woe, as if once beheld thine queen of earth and heaven and hell.
To Hope by John Keats. When by my solitary hearth I sit, and hateful thoughts enwrap my soul in gloom, when all fair dreams before my mind's eye flit, and the bare heath of life presents no doom, sweet Hope, eternal bloom upon my sheet, and wave thy silver pinions o'er my head. Whenever I wonder at the fall of night, where woven boards shot out the moon's bright ray, should say disappointments my musing fright, and thrown to drive her cheerfulness away, beep with the moonbeams through the leafy roof, and keep it fine disponents far aloof. Should disappointment, parent of despair, strive for her soon to seize my careless heart, when like a cloud he sits upon the air, preparing on a spellbound prey to dart, chase him away, sweet Hope, with visage bright, and frighten as the morning frightens night. Whenever the fate of woes I hold most dear tells to my fearful breast a tale of sorrow, O bright-eyed Hope, my morbid fancy cheer, let me while with sweetest comforts burrow the heavy-borne radiance around my sheet, and rake the silver pinions on my head. Should our unhappy love my bosom pain, and cruel parents are relentless fair, oh, let me think it is not quite in vain to cite our sonnets to the midnight air. Sweet Hope, eternal born upon my sheet, and wave the silver pinions on my head. In the long vista of a year to roll, let me not see our country's honored fate, or let me see our land retain her soul, a pride of freedom and of freedom's shape. From her bright eyes' unusual brightness sheet, by never pinions, call up my head. Let me not see the patriot's high bequest, great liberty, a great and plain attire, with the base purple of the court oppressed, bowing her head and reed to expire. But let me see the stoop from heaven on wings, with fly skies with silver glitterings, and as in sparkling majesty a star glitz the bright summit of some gloomy cloud, brighten the half-light face of heaven afar. So when dark thoughts my budding spirit shoot, sweet hope shall its influence around my sheet, wearing with silver pinions o'er my head.
To John Hamilton Reynolds by John Keats. Oh, that a week could be an age, and we, that parting and warm meeting every week, and one poor year 1,000 years would be, flush of welcome ever on the cheek. So could we live long life in little space, so time itself would be annihilated, so a day's journey in oblivious haste to serve our joys would lengthen and dilate. Or to arrive each Monday morn from Ind, to land each Tuesday from rich Levant, and little time a host of joys to bind, keep our souls in one eternal pent. This morn my friend and yesterday evening taught me how to harbour such a happy thought. To Kosciuszko by John Keats. Good Kosciuszko, thy great name alone is full harvest whence to reap high feeling. It comes upon us like the glorious pealing of the wide sphere's everlasting tone. And now it tells me that in worlds unknown the names of heroes burst from clouds concealing, and change to harmonies forever stealing through cloudless blue and round each silver throne. It tells me too that on a happy day when some good spirit walks upon the earth, the name with Alfred's and the great of your gentle commingling gives tremendous birth to a loud hymn that sounds far, far away to where the great God lives forevermore. To my brother George by John Keats. Many wonders I this day have seen. The sun on Thursday kissed away the tears, and filled the eyes of morn, while all pierce from the feathered gold of evening lean. The ocean with its vastness, its blue-green, its ships, its rocks, its caves, its hopes, its fears, its voice mysterious, which whoso hears must think on what will be and what has been. E'en now, dear George, I'll this for you I write, Cynthia's from the silken curtains peeping so scantly that it seems the bridal night, and she half-discovered revels keeping. But what without the social thought of thee would be the wonders of the sky and sea? To my brothers by John Keats. Small busy flames play through the fresh-laid coals, the faint cracklings are, as silence creep, like whispers of the household gods that keep a gentle empire of fraternal souls. In wilful rhymes I search around the poles, eyes are fixed, as in poetic sleep, upon the laws of volute and deep, I yet full of night or care condoles. This your birthday, Tom, and I rejoice, and thus it passes smoothly, quietly. Many such eves of gentle whispering noise may we together pass and calmly try what are this world's true joys, that the great voice on its fair face shall bid our spirits fly. To one who has been long in City Pent by John Keats. To one who has been long in City Pent, 'tis so sweet to look into the fair face of heaven, to breathe a prayer full in the smile of a blue firmament. Who is more happy than with heart's content, fatigue he sings into some pleasant lair of wavy grass and reads the debonair and gentle tale of love and languishment. Returning home at evening with an ear catching the notes of Philomel, and eye watching the sailing cloudlet's bright career, he mourns the day so soon has glided by, e'en like the passage of an angel's tear, and falls through the clear ever silently.
To some ladies by John Keats. Or thought, while the wonders of nature exploring, I cannot your light, my footsteps attend, nor listen to accents that almost adoring. Bless Cynthia's face, the enthusiastic friend. Yet over the step, whence the mountain stream rushes, with you, kindest friends, in idea I love. Mark the clear tumbling crystal, its passionate gushes, its spray what a white flower gently bedew. Or linger you so, the wild labyrinth strolling, while breathless unable your bliss to declare? Ah, you list to the nightingale's tender condoling, responsive to sylphs and the moonbeam air. 'Tis morning, and the flowers of dew are yet drooping. I see you are trending the verge of the sea, and now, I see it, you just now are stopping, the pick up the keepsake intent for me, with a sharp on pinions of silver descending, and brought me a gem from the fretwork of heaven, and smiles with his Stygian voice sweetly blending the blessing of tide and melodiously given. It hath not created a warm emotion with the present fair nymphs. I was blessed with form you when the shell of bright gold sand of the ocean, and trembled waves at your feet gladly flew. For indeed is a sweet and peculiar pleasure, and blissful is he who such happiness finds, to possess but is born of hours of leisure, and elegant, pure, and errant minds. 2 or 3 by John Keats. 2 or 3 voices, with 2 or 3 simples, 2 or 3 noses, with 2 or 3 pimples, 2 or 3 wise men, and 2 or 3 knights, 2 or 3 juniors, 2 or 3 rapes, and 2 or 3 doors, 2 or 3 naps, or 2 or 3 hours, 2 or 3 cats, and 2 or 3 mice, 2 or 3 sparrows at a very good price, 2 or 3 sandys, and 2 or 3 tabbies, 2 or 3 dandies, and Donisses, 2 or 3 smiles, and 2 or 3 frowns, 2 or 3 miles, to 2 or 3 tones, 2 or 3 pecks, for 2 or 3 bonnets, 2 or 3 dove eggs, to hatch into sonnets.
Welcome joy and welcome sorrow, John Keats. Welcome joy and welcome sorrow, left sweet and harmless feather. Come today and come tomorrow, and I love you both together. Out of marks-set faces and fair weather, hear merry laugh amid the thunder, fair and full laugh together. Meadows sweet, where flames are under, and they giggle at the wonder. Without sage a phantom mine, funeral and steeply chime. Infant playing with skull, morning fair and shipwrecked hull, nighted with a woodbine kissing, serpents and red roses hissing. Cleopatra reached dressed, with the aspic at her breast, dancing music, music sad, both together, sane and mad. Muses bright, muses pale, sombre Satan, almost hail, love and sigh and laugh again, O sweetness of pain. Muses bright and muses pale, bear your faces of a veil. Let me see and let me ride of a day and of a night, both together. Let me slake all my thirst for sweet heartache, if a bower be of you, and a wreath of myrtles new. Pines and lime trees full in bloom, a couch, no grass tomb. When I have fears that I may cease to be, but John Keats. I have fears that I may cease to be before my pen has gleaned my teeming brain, before high-pilled books and carrack dry out like rich garners full-ripened grain, and behold upon the night's starred face huge cloudy symbols of a high romance, and think that I may never live to trace the shadows with the magic hand of chance, then I feel, fair creature of an hour, that I shall never look upon thee more, never have relish in the fair power of unreflected love. Then on the shore of the wide world I stand alone, and think to love and fame to nothingness to sink. Where's the poet, but John Keats? Where's the poet? Show him, Muses 9, that I may know him. 'Tis a man who with a man is an equal, be he king or poorest of a beggar clan, or any other wondrous thing. A man may be twixt ape and Plato. 'Tis the man who with a bird, wren or eagle finds his way to all its instincts. He hath heard the lion's roaring, and can tell what his horny throat expresseth, and to him the tiger's yell come articulate and impressive o'er his ear like mother tongue. Why did I laugh tonight, John Keats? Why did I laugh tonight? No voice will tell, no god, no demon of severe response deigns to reply from heaven or from hell, when to my human heart I turn at once. Heart, thou and I are here sad and alone. I say, why did I laugh, O mortal pain? O darkness, darkness, ever must I moan, to question heaven and hell at heart in vain. Why did I laugh? I know this being's release, my fancy to its utmost bliss spreads. Yet would I on this very midnight keys, and all world's gaudian signs see in shreds. Worth, fame, and beauty are intense indeed, but death intenser. Death is life's high meed. Written in disgust, vulgar superstition, by John Keats. The church bells toll a melancholy round, calling the people to some other prayers, some other gloamings, more dreadful cares, hearkening to the sermon's hard sound. Surely the mind of man is closely bound in some black spell, seeing that each one tears himself for fireside joys and Lydian airs, converse higher foes with glory crowned. Still they toll, and I should feel a damp, a child is from the tomb did I not know, and they are dying like an outburned lamp. That 'tis with sighing, wailing o'er they go into oblivion, that fresh flowers will grow, many glories of a mortal stamp. Written in sickness, by John Keats. Brother beloved, if health should smile again upon this wasted form and fevered cheek, ere returning vigour bid these weak and languid limbs their gladsome strength regain, and may their brow the blessed glow retain, O sweet content in their pleased eye may speak the conscious self-applause, but should I seek to utter what his heart can feel, are vain, were the attempt, it kindest friends fell o'er my couch you bent, watch with tenderness the being whom your cares could e'en restore, for grasp of death, say can you guess the feelings which his lips can ne'er express, feelings deep fixed in grateful memories store?
Written in the cottage where Burns was born, by John Keats. This mortal body of 1,000 days now fills or burns a space in thine own room, where wounded stream alone on budded bays, happy and thoughtless of a day of doom. My pulse is warm with thine old belly breathe, my head is light with pledging a great soul. My eyes are wandering, and I cannot see, fancy dead and drunken at its goal. Yet can I stamp my foot upon the floor, yet can I ope the window such to find. The meadow woe has dreamed over and over, yet can I think of thee till thought is blind. Yet can I gulp a bumper to the name. Oh, smile among the shades, for this is fame.
Written on a blank page in the More at Fletcher's Works by John Keats. Spirit here that reigneth, spirit here that painest, spirit here that burneth, spirit here that mourneth. Spirit, I bow my forehead low, and shaded with opinions. Spirit, I look or passion struck at thy dale dominions. Spirit here that laughest, spirit here that quaffest, spirit here that danceth, spirit here that pranceth. Spirit, with thee I join in the glee, when nodding the elbow of Momus. Spirit, I flush with bacchanal blush, just fresh for the banquet of Comus.
Written on the day that Mr. Leif Hunt left prison by John Keats. What thought was shown truth to flattered state? Kind Hunt was shut in prison, yet has he, in his immortal spirit, been as free as a sky-searching lark and as elate. Minion of grandeur, think you he did wait? Think you he naught but prison walls did see? Tell so unwillingly, for untrust the key. No, for happier, nobler was his fate. In Spenser's hall he stayed in bows fair, Calic enchanted flowers, and he flew with daring Milton through the fields of air, to regions of his own his genius drew. Took happy flights, who shall his fame impair, and who are dead, and all thy wretched crew.
Written upon the top of Ben Nevis by John Keats. Read me a lesson, muse and speak it loud, upon the top of Nevis blind and mist. I look into the chasms, and show the poorest dove hide them. Just so much I wish mankind to know of hell. I look o'erhead, and there's sullen mist. Even so much mankind can tell of heaven. Mist spread before the earth, beneath me, even so vague as man's sight of himself. Here are the craggy stones beneath my feet. Thus much I know that to poor witless elf I treat on them, and all my eye doth meet is mist and crag, not only on this height, and a world of fundamental might. You say you love, but John Keats. You say you love, but with voice chaster than a nun's, who singeth with soft whispers to herself, while the chimble ringeth, "O love me truly." You say you love, but with a smile cold as sunrise in September, as you were St. Cupid's nun, and kept his weeks of amber. "O love me truly." You say you love, but when your lips, coral tinted, teach no blisses more than coral in the sea, the never poet for kisses. "O love me truly." You say you love, when your hand, the soft squeeze for squeeze returneth, it is like a statue stared, till mine to passion burneth. "O love me truly." A breath, a word or two of fire, smile, as if those words should bomb me, squeeze as lovers should thou kiss, and the heart inure me. "O love me truly."